Hey guys, welcome back to Casa Cielo, our project house, and we've moved our focus outdoors, getting ready for summer and pool time and all that kind of fun. So come on over and I'll show you what we've kind of done so far. So kind of the main things we needed back here was safety and shade. So we have a little guy who teeter-totters next to the pool, and we pretty much knew we needed safety no matter what. And the three kind of options in our area are a pool alarm, a pool fence, and a pool net. And basically we went for the net because of the layout of the pool. The pool is really close to the side of the house, and a pool fence would have meant we had to get extra gates to go into all the doors. It was just gonna be, it would have basically blocked off this entire portion of the yard, which is kind of a big portion of the yard. So I actually was really happy there was another option because I didn't know about a pool net before we looked into it. And I think it's one of the most visually clean looks. Questions you'll probably have: does it take a long time to take off? Yeah, it's about 10 to 15 minutes. It's not like opening a gate, but it's also not bad for, look how much area we can use this side of the yard when we're not using the pool. So the minute we're done with the pool, we put the net back on and we can use it right away. It was like, we got like 3 people to help us put it on this last weekend when we were swimming, and it took like 3 guys, 5 to 10 minutes, and we kind of just made it like a little fun, trial to try it out. But I can't really do it by myself. There needs to be some tension, but as far as complaints on it, I wouldn't say that's a deterrent, and there really aren't a lot of options for pool safety. So I'm really happy with this option that we had all together, and it's worked really great so far. The kids don't mess with it. They don't try to climb on it. And yeah, I think it's kind of solved the problem we had. And then we also changed our pool to salt water. This was something we'd been wanting to do. I think it's much better on the skin. Our little guy has really sensitive skin. It's really dry, and so this has been great for that. And we basically, the process is you just get a saltwater converter and add bags of salt to the pool. And so I think it was like 5 to 8 bags total of salt, and the salt converter kind of processes it and makes chlorine. And it came perfect timing because our pool kind of advisor told us that chlorine was on a shortage, so we went saltwater and we kind of don't have to deal with that. So that's been helpful so far. And my husband has gotten very into pool chemistry, and he just kind of keeps it kind of perfect for us. And we did go through the whole process kind of seeing what it would be to replaster the pool. The pool has not been replastered since like 91. And it needs it really bad. From far away, it doesn't look bad and nobody complains about swimming at our pool. But if you get up close, there are very apparent calcium staining and like little chips coming out of it. But it's something that we're gonna hold off on for a couple reasons. The cost, and the second was that it would kind of ruin pool season. So we've determined that it would be something, if we do this year at all, it would be more like November, December. And that's just kind of something we're saving for and know it will have to be done, which would be the pool tile and the pool plaster, or Pebble Tech. We're kind of going back and forth. Shade was a big thing. We don't have any shade. So for now, I just bought a cantilever umbrella just for the time being so we could have some sort of shade out here, and it was the 10-foot size, and you can see it kind of is already dwarfed next to the pool, but it gave us plenty. Because I had mentioned a little bit in our last video, the only shade we have is right against the house right here. And so the plan is, I'll throw my mood board up here. The plan is to make this whole area just feel vacation-like, Palm Springs meets Byron Bay, just a good lounge by the pool kind of vibe. And so I'm gonna get as much bang for my buck by doing that with paint and just changing a few things around. So as far as big major build, the pergola would be about it, and I'll show you kind of the proposed pergola idea. And we're just kind of hoping it could maybe get done in the next couple months, but it's obviously really hard to get construction going right now. But that would be over there, and it would be 23 feet by 16 feet. It's gonna be such a great size to have a dining table and a lounge area. And we actually decided against putting an outdoor kitchen there, and I'm gonna show you where we decided to put an outdoor kitchen instead. So kind of along here, we have permanent shade. It's pretty much always shady except for the very small part of the afternoon. So we don't need to build any extra structures for that. And there's about a 12-foot run down over here that I think will make a perfect spot for a barbecue, because this is where most of the time we come in through, because this is the garage and this is where we access the kitchens right through the garage as well. And we're just because it's secluded over here, there isn't really access to the kitchen from the other way. And I think this will make a great spot to just put down the food, start barbecuing. And the gas line, one of the main reasons why we chose this area, and I met with the plumber to kind of go over this, the gas line's right there. So it's literally 2 to 3 feet moving the gas line over and running it for a gas grill. And then we do have access to water and electricity here, so we can put a little mini fridge in here, a gray water system for a small sink. I polled you guys over on Instagram, and everyone a resounding yes to an outdoor sink, which I didn't really feel like was necessary. I'm a little concerned about it being just a spot that I have to clean, but I think it might come in really handy just to rinse our hands off, and then we'll just do a gray water, either bucket or system run to around the corner that can run off to the plants, because there really isn't no sewage area over here that we can connect to, but we should have access to water because we have so many sprinklers and stuff. So that will be kind of cool, and we're just gonna do some built-in cabinetry, and I'm just gonna kind of DIY make it all over here because it will be pretty straightforward. But I do think we need to put a cement platform right here just to make it kind of all level and work. Something that is, it's probably the only thing that is testing my patience, is I want to paint this house white so bad. I just know that it needs to be white. I know it goes with my whole vision of the home, but I kind of have to hold off because there's so much in front of it that needs to be done that would kind of backtrack painting it. So we're doing a lot of different electrical things that get pulled from the outside, as well as eventually that main bath on that side will get a new window and the water heater will move. But a really nice benefit to having this area of the house so secluded from the rest is I think I'm just going to paint this side of the house white. So I can get my dreamy backyard feel, and this can be the backdrop I kind of want. And I think for a relatively small cost, it can really give that kind of vibe I'm going for, because for me, it's just a little too beige. The house is beige, the pool decking's painted beige, and it just, I want a little bit more of that contrast and that vacation feeling. Then another area, this is kind of a weird dead space, but I think I might do a couple hanging chairs just for the time being. We also have a lot of like equipment things right here, the bubblers for the sprinkler system, and I think that has to do with the pool electricity or something. So this will either become a planting area, or I might do a built-in for like pool floaties and things, because these might go somewhere else. Something I'm kind of excited about that I think gives that vacation vibe is right on the other side of this is a bathroom and a shower. And so talked with the plumber, and we can pop into the hot and cold water, and this will become a new outdoor shower. I love these palms. Tell my husband you love them too, because he thinks it's crazy, but I love this idea of you kind of walking through here, and it's like a little oasis outdoor shower. So I'm going to be able to have hot and cold. Originally I was just going to run it off of the hose, but really after talking with the plumber, he said it's not that much difference to other than stucco repair. I'm just left with a little bit of stucco repair, but it's yeah, so this is kind of the new space that I think will be an outdoor shower to just rinse off from the pool, or if you go surfing or whatever. So I'm excited about that one. And we did upgrade the pool to a variable speed pump, which a lot of you had recommended, and we were recommended to. It helped the energy bill. And the pool decking definitely needs to be addressed. The pool mastic is pretty much gone, but I think once we do replaster, we'll maybe just do a fresh coat of paint. We're not going to rip it all out, but just kind of upgrading the pool mastic and getting everything kind of clean. It's just, I think it will be such a better kind of feeling and vibe out here, just getting a lot of those things addressed that are kind of falling apart and brittle. And then also the back fencing eventually will get painted. Just maybe take the same color of the house along it and kind of tie it in. Oh, actually, we are thinking of doing, so I'm a big fan of mid-century. Obviously this house is mid-century, and I'm incorporating as much of that in here. And I totally envisioned having breeze blocks. And so I found these little spots that I could put some breeze blocks in just to give it a little bit of that history and stuff. And one of those spots is going to be where our pool equipment is currently, because this isn't really gonna last. So we're gonna change this out, and I think we'll just do about the same height, a block and a breeze block, and then right here breeze block. So it will kind of offset each other. I don't know if you can picture that, how I'm saying it, but it basically will come here, the breeze block wall, and it will kind of offset that, and so you won't see that pool heater. And it will also give us a place to tuck our chemicals, and then this PVC thing is what we use to wrap up the pool net. And so it also could have like a little place to house right here, and then from there it would start the barbecue. So I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's a lot of little things we have to chip away at, but now that we're kind of able to have people over, we're enlisting some friends' help, and I'm sure we'll tell people to bring over their paintbrush, and we'll just kind of slowly chip away at everything. And another kind of nostalgic thing that I was sad to see go was our diving board. The inspector warned us to get rid of it. Every pool contractor that came over warned us to get rid of it. And we were pretty set that we were going to get rid of it because of the space opening up, and as well as we just have little kiddos. I mean, I feel like when you have little kids, you just have to kind of make those safety calls. But so we did. We just took it up, and I don't know, my husband could probably tell you, did you feel like it was easy to take off? No, not at all. So we used a grinder and took off the bolts. Before that, we used a Sawzall, and took it off, and yeah, it was a little muscle. I wrangled the kids and he did that, but it's fiberglass, so it gets fiberglass everywhere, and there's just a lot of fear that you could be on it and it could split in half. And my kids aren't heavy enough to do that because they're so little, but every time I saw the guys kind of jumping off it, I could kind of see what people meant. But anyway, so that had to go, and kind of a good and a bad thing, right? It was like kind of sad to see that nostalgia of a diving board go, but also it opened up this new space, which is going to be basically our temporary lounge area. I just been working out here. I've actually kind of liked working out here, but I basically just put a dining table here. But I think this will be just a lounge space to get us by through the pool season with a sofa and a rug. So we were left with a little, we very well covered it already, but we were left with like a spot on the cement in a few places where the bolts were, but it's nothing that you can't hide with a rug. So I think, yeah, this will be kind of our lounge area until that pergola can be built and put in. So I'd love your guys' opinion on this. The gazebo, doesn't go with the vibe of the house. It's kind of cool because of the elevation, but it does not fit with the style of house. It has this more cottage feel. So I've had this idea, and it's really just a budget idea. That's the only reason why I kind of have thought of doing this, is because I don't think it's something we're going to address like when we do a pergola and stuff. So for a budget kind of fix, I have this idea to turn it into a cabana. So take off some of the edges of I should find my sketch for you, but take off some of the edges of the cabana. I'll come bring you over there so you can see it. Okay, so I do like how the gazebo has this elevation. I just think it's a fun, and I'll have him turn around in a second. You can see the viewpoint of the pool from it. But it's a perfect space to have like a day bed and a little cabana and a place to hide from the sun, but it just needs some de-cottaging. So I'm thinking of kind of lobbing off and squaring off the pillar parts right through here, taking off some of this stuff right here, and then the north, south, east, west compass on top, and then maybe changing the rail around and making it more vertical, more vertical slats like this, so that it kind of hides the little bit of the house behind, but then it makes it feel kind of cabana-like, and then painting the whole thing white. I think it'll be really pretty. Simple day bed. I've done a day bed before with just pallets. It was really simple. So yeah, I think that'll be fun. I think that's like that's a good one to enlist friends into. But look at the view. Yeah, isn't that a nice view of the pool? I love that view. I just love the view. So the install of the net was pretty simple. So what they did, and this was kind of, I know my husband was a little concerned about like what it would do to the deck. We were lucky that we have old decking, so it wasn't too precious. But they take these brass grommets and they go in an inch in, and it's literally flush with the decking. So when these things unclip, in fact, come over to this one, because you're gonna see the only thing that makes this thing not safe is if you don't double check everything. So this is where it hooks in, and I won't even be able to get it over because of the tension on the net right now, so we'd have to loosen it up to lock this one in. But basically it has this little lock-in piece that goes into the main part and snaps in, and I mean, it is completely flush. So over time, this brass will oxidize and pretty much completely match whatever it's next to. So whether it's flagstone or we paint over and it's decking, it will kind of oxidize and blend in. So it's a really, really clean look. And a lot of times what we'll do is we'll release the tension on the deck, we'll pull it back just a little bit and we'll skim and clean or brush, and you don't have to release the whole thing. But the install was really quick. I want to say it was an hour or two, and they actually bring a complete net out here and they custom do it for your pool. So they custom cut it, they custom what would you call that? They rewrap this edge, and it was really fun to see. And this one's a pretty large area, but they were able to do just one lock point or one tension point, which makes it kind of a little bit easier for install. But yeah, it was fairly simple. The company was called Catch a Kid, and again, for our area, that was just where kind of everyone recommended. All right, guys, thanks for watching our update, prepping for summer. I'd love to hear your ideas, what you kind of love to see around a pool, and get ready, because hopefully next time when I show you, it will look completely different and we'll start having those vacation vibes here. All right, see you guys next one. Whole time it was this one.